The Victorian Age, spanning from roughly the early 19th century to the beginning of the 20th century, was a period of significant literary output and innovation in England.
Here's a detailed analysis of some of the key features of Victorian literature.
Social realism.
Victorian literature often portrayed the realities of society, including the struggles of the working class, industrialization, poverty, and the impact of rapid societal changes. Authors such as Charles Dickens and Elizabeth Gaskell highlighted social injustices and advocated for social reform through their works.
Moral and ethical themes.
Many Victorian novels explore complex moral and ethical dilemmas faced by characters. Themes of virtue, morality, duty, and the consequences of one's actions are common. Novels like Thomas Hardy's Tess of the d'Urberville and Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre grapple with issues of morality and social conventions.
Idealized portrayals of women.
Victorian literature often presented idealized images of women, emphasizing qualities such as purity, innocence, and domesticity.
However, there were also subversions of these stereotypes, with authors like George Eliot challenging traditional gender roles in works like Middlemarch.
Gothic elements.
The Victorian era saw a resurgence of Gothic literature, characterized by elements such as mystery, horror, and the supernatural. Novels like Bram Stoker's Dracula and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein explore themes of fear, morality, and the unknown.
Exploration of science and technology.
The Victorian era was a time of scientific and technological advancement, and literature often reflected this fascination. Writers like H.G. Wells incorporated scientific concepts and speculative fiction into their works, exploring themes of time travel, evolution, and the consequences of scientific experimentation.
Serial publication.
Many novels of the Victorian era were initially published in serial form in newspapers or magazines, with authors releasing installments over time. This method of publication allowed for ongoing engagement with readers and influenced the pacing and structure of many works.
Concerns about industrialization and urbanization.
The Victorian period saw rapid industrialization and urbanization, leading to concerns about the impact on society and the environment. Writers such as Charles Dickens depicted the harsh realities of urban life and the plight of the working class in novels like Hard Times and Oliver Twist.
Colonialism and empire.
Victorian literature often reflects Britain's imperial expansion and the attitudes towards colonialism prevalent during the era. Authors like Rudyard Kipling celebrated the British Empire in works like The Jungle Book, while others, such as Joseph Conrad in Heart of Darkness, offered critiques of imperialism and its effects on both colonizers and the colonized.
Spiritual and religious themes.
Religion and spirituality were significant influences on Victorian literature, with many works grappling with questions of faith, morality, and the existence of God. The poetry of Alfred, Lord Tennyson, for example, often explores these themes, as does the religious allegory of George MacDonald's Phantastes.
Shift towards realism.
While Romanticism had dominated literature in the early 19th century, the Victorian era saw a shift towards realism, with authors striving for accurate depictions of everyday life and human psychology. This realism can be seen in the works of authors like George Eliot, who focused on detailed character development and psychological realism in novels such as Middlemarch.
Conclusion.
These features collectively define the richness and complexity of Victorian literature, capturing the ethos and concerns of an era undergoing profound social, cultural, and technological change.